Welcome back to the Undeserved Flavor, where we taste and see that the Lord is good. Come along for a little ride. This one's gonna taste good. You can watch a little dash cam footage while you roll with me and hear me ramble. This is take 3 of this video. I have now done 2 versions of this video where I've spoken over 7 minutes, and I rambled off topic or had various phone interruptions. So I put the phone on airplane mode now, so I'm not going to get those interruptions. What I want to talk about in this video is the second death. What is the second death? And I'm going to hit on the lake of fire, and we'll get into the verse in Revelation 21:8. Who goes to the lake of fire? Let's just jump right in. I don't need to ramble. I got my rambling out of the way, killed those videos, and starting fresh. Revelation 21:8. The fear-driven and unbelieving, those having become rotten to the core, sex peddlers, sorcerers, idolaters, and deceivers, their measure is the lake burning with brimstone. This is the second death. That is the Mirror Study Bible translation. Another more common translation, I think this is, I don't know which translation this is, it's either the NIV or the NASB or something. But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters and all liars, their place will be in the fiery lake of burning sulfur. This is the second death. Okay, so I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm tired of rambling, but I'll still probably find a way to ramble. The lake of fire in the first century was a common phrase or term for a gold or silver smelting pot. If you were a metallurgist who purifies precious metals, you would know immediately what a lake of fire is. It's a smelting pot where you put impure silver or gold and you heat it up. You add sulfur, because sulfur is a cleansing agent, also known as brimstone, and the dross, the impurities, float to the top. They are removed, and then the purified precious metal is poured out. Oftentimes into, they make a gold bar, or maybe they're making jewelry, or maybe they're making coins, whatever. Either way, it's purified. It's no longer impure. The impurities are gone. The gold does not remain in a state of torment forever, nor is it annihilated. That said, this is the second death. Okay, so what is the second death? The second death is the death of death. It is a double negative. It is not a additional death wherein those who've died were basically like only half dead. Like they died in this body, but their soul was still alive and they were just waiting. Like modern day, fundamentalists believe you die and you go to a waiting place. And then eventually you're going to be cast into the lake of fire where you're going to remain for all of eternity. Or you will be annihilated. If you're an annihilationist, it's a more merciful view. No, that's not how it works. The second death is the death of death. The second death is the death of, it is the destruction of that which causes destruction. It is the elimination of anything that is impure. It is not the annihilation of anything God created pure. We were created pure, good, perfect. Does God do anything impure or imperfect? No. Otherwise, God would be impure and imperfect. Easy. So the second death is basically the restoration unto life of all that which needs to be purified, or reconciled, or restored, or repaired, healed, however you want to phrase it. It is not it's not a second. It's not like you're dead halfway, like I said, and then your soul dies. The remaining amount of however much you can die more. It just use logic. The mind of Christ is logic. In the beginning was the Logos of God. Logic. You have the mind of Christ. What is the mind of Christ? Simple logic. Problem is, people don't like using logic because it might actually poke at the cracks in their foundation. And that's not comfortable. If you've believed a certain way for 15 or 50 years, you may not be comfortable with having your belief system poked at or shaken, however you want to say it. So anyway, it is what it is. That's what I want to say in this video. This video, if I just kept rambling in the first or second take that I attempted to take of this video would have been a half an hour long at least, and I would have rambled about stuff that was really irrelevant to what I wanted to say. So the second death is the death of death, and that is a double negative. It is a restoration unto life. Simple as that. If you want to go a little bit further into it, what do I think this is? What do I think the symbology or the metaphor is of this? Is literally when you leave this three-dimensional realm, you are immediately in the presence of utter, pure truth. And metaphorically, all lies that you were under the impression of, or you believed, the illusion that you thought was reality, will be literally, quote unquote, burned up in an instant, and you will now see clearly. Simple. You will now have no interest in rejecting perfect love. You will be too heavily enveloped in an unfathomable love presence and bliss that it would be illogical to reject that, no matter who you are. Oh, what about like murderers and rapists and tyrannical genocidal leaders, and what about them? Do you think that's too hard for God to handle? Do you think that God is, being that He's eternal, He's all-knowing, He's all-powerful, and He is, in essence, perfect love, you don't think He'd be willing? You don't think He'd be able to save, heal, reconcile anyone here that's literally lived on the 3D plane for a matter of seconds in light of eternity? Come on. Just think. Use your brain. Use your mind of Christ. Use your logic. It's a lot easier if you can step outside of that biblio-idolatry, where you over-literalize the Bible and you don't seek out what the original meanings are. And I don't mean just going to the Strong's Concordance for a quick translation, because that doesn't get you to the root, the context of the original meaning of most passages. But anyway, rant over. We're going to keep this video short. It's now pouring and you may be having a hard time listening to me or hearing me. It's pretty loud, so. But anyway, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, tell me what you think about this rendition of the second death in the lake of fire. And how does it jive with what you think? Let me know. We'll see you next time. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Peace.